Hey everybody, Dr. Steve here. It is Tuesday and I have started a practice of answering questions that I've been hearing a lot in my chiropractic practice. I'm a longevity coach, so I get a lot of longevity questions as well too. And a question's been coming up a lot frequently around grounding. And I've seen on the internet tons of advertising for grounding mats. So this stuff is very much in the ether right now. I have a lot of proactive health clients who have asked me about this recently. So I want to give you some nuance thoughts about this from a health and longevity perspective. First off, grounding is something that I highly recommend and preach as a great mindful practice more than anything. Now, one of the nuances here is what people even mean when they're talking about grounding. There is the practice of grounding, which is like going out in nature, in bare feet, or putting your feet or your hands or your body onto the earth. As a practice of grounding. That actually is a practice that I do. We'll get back to that. There is now, again, what I'm seeing a lot marketed and what a lot of people are asking me about when they're talking about grounding are these grounding mats that are out there. And there's a lot of variation in what that even means and what these different technologies do or claim to do. And then there's grounding yourself, which is a process of really kind of centering yourself. But on a physiological level, what that means is calming, more often than not, it's calming down your nervous system. I mean, we are in a world where our sympathetic nervous system gets triggered and can get triggered all in a slew of different ways. And so we live in a world where people really are too much in the sympathetic fight or flight state all the time, and for all kinds of various reasons. And that is not a healthy state to be in. And not only is it not good physically for your body to be in that state for long periods of time, but cognitively and mentally, your ability to concentrate, to focus, to learn new things, to interact with other human beings in a normal social way. When your nervous system is triggered, all those things are going to be negatively affected in your life. So when we're talking about grounding, we're actually talking about quite a few of different things with that. So I am, especially in my longevity coaching, one of the things that lifestyle-wise I coach and we all need to be aware of is our autonomic nervous system regulation. And for 99.9% of us, that is being able to get ourselves in a more grounded state, which is really more, have the tools and to take down your sympathetic nervous system and calm yourself down and center yourself and ground yourself, right? So that is something that absolutely can benefit. I'll say this, my practice of grounding myself, which is like going outside and touching the earth every morning, it's just part of my morning routine. There's some light science out there that would suggest that's a great practice to do. I always say if it's woo-woo and it works, like what's the harm? So that is a woo-woo practice, I do. Almost every day. I incorporate that with some light stretching that I do out there, and in nature I'm getting, when the sun's out, I'm getting sunlight on my body. I spend some time doing a meditation out there, things. So I'm stacking, I'm integrating a lot of things, and a lot of that is really geared towards balancing my nervous system, which is a process of grounding yourself. So huge fan of that. In terms of these mats out there, I've dove a little bit into this. Listen, some of them are super expensive, and I would just say this: I don't think there's a lot of hardcore science out there to back them up. Now, what they are basically saying they're going to do is they're going to help balance your nervous system. So, a lot of times you can spend a lot of money on technologies, and they really may help do that. But there's probably a lot of things you can do that doesn't cost you a penny that's going to help you do that. And really to get long-lasting results with balancing your nervous system, utilize tools like that if you choose to invest in that. I'm certainly would guess it's not doing any harm, but utilize tools like that. But you have to do the fundamental lifestyle things that are going to help ground you and balance your nervous system. So if you just think some mat is magically going to all of a sudden, fix like your ability when you do get triggered by your nervous system with all the things in life and the world that we live in that are going to trigger your nervous system constantly, I'm just going to tell you, and if these mats companies are claiming that, I am going to call a little BS on that. So I always say these technologies, I'm a huge fan of technologies, especially related to health and wellness, and clearly aren't doing harm to your health. They work as well as you work. And you still got to ultimately take care of yourself and do the things that you need to do to really ground yourself and balance your nervous system. And then, go to town, use these tools. Like I said, I would be conscious some of the claims they make, and it can bother me a little bit, I guess I would say the words. But at the same time, I'd be open to using grounding mats, and I love technology. I'm not currently using grounding mats. I have some friends who brought them in. I've tried them out, so I'm very open to the technology. 5 years from 10 years from now, there'll probably be a lot more science on this stuff. We'll know a lot better really how effective they are at doing this. But by all means, one of the most important health things we can all be doing is balancing our nervous system, which is grounding yourself, which is bringing your nervous system to a grounded state, which I think is really the true meaning of what people are talking about when they talk about grounding themselves. All right, thanks for your time. Hope that helped give you some really good perspective on the subject of grounding.